Hi, I'm Seb Cox, the director of Harry Potter 9000, and today I'm here to talk you through the cinematic processes in which I went through to create the film. I'd recommend watching the film first before watching this tutorial so that you can avoid spoilers. Harry Potter 9000 was more of a visual experiment. I wanted to try lots of different cinematic techniques to try and present a somewhat subliminal story. The main cinematic technique that I wanted to base the film around was image systems, so by creating visual links between story and cinematography, in that way helping to tell the story without being told it. So the audience would be forced to try and understand the story by making cinematic links from what they've seen before to what they're then seeing later in the film. The main cinematic techniques that we used to tell the image system were colour and framing. So the story goes is that Harry and Lucy had a kid 3 years ago. Just before it turned 1, it developed leukemia. Within a year later, the child died. Harry couldn't really cope with the loss of his kid, and as a result he ended up developing depersonalization disorder. He became very disconnected from his emotions and very withdrawn from reality. Now Lucy, on the other hand, went back to somewhat normal living. She was able to move on in her life. Now the way that we differentiate these two stages in these characters' lives are by the colour in the film. So we represent mental stagnation with the colour red, whereas we represent the idea of character being able to move on with their life with the colour green. Now this worked in the image system to show Harry's development as he gradually made his way in his mind from red to green. We also presented this through the clothes that Lucy wore or the phone that she uses. They're all green to show that she has in fact moved on with her life. In terms of the framing and the image system, the central symmetrical framing showed Harry in isolation. We felt as though he was always where he should be in his own mind, isolated away from the rest of the framing. However, in Lucy's framing, everything felt more fluid than ordered and centric to show the difference in the two characters. One of the most obvious pieces of framing is with the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is in fact not real. He is a representation of their brain that speaks to them, to show that he wasn't a real character, because we never shot above the eyes. I didn't want the audience to have any emotional connection with the character. Now there was one other scene where this was also put in place. Now this was the scene where Harry and Lucy kiss for the first time since the traumatic incident. The purpose behind this was to show that the characters were speaking to each other, much like having their brains talk directly to one another. Now Harry Potter 9000 is all about a mental disorder. We knew that the story itself was incredibly sad, so we wanted to contrast this with the imagery. Throughout the film, we used soft lenses and lighting in order to create a more warm and softer image for people to watch, thereby balancing the dark context of the film with very natural and warm imagery. Now, if we take a moment to compare the first and last shots of the film, we will see from the first shot, Lucy is holding a robot in her hand towards the baby, and we are looking at her from the baby's perspective. When we look at the ending shot, we see Harry contemplating his acceptance of the baby's death. We have looped the audience around so that we can understand that Harry is contemplating back to the baby. Now, Harry Potter 9000's cinematography was incredibly experimental for me. I was trying lots of different things, but I believe that they were all learning processes where I could see whether things worked and were well accepted or they weren't. The cinematography of Harry Potter 9000 isn't perfect. Sometimes it got highly credited for its cinematography ability, and other times it fell short and wasn't really picked up on. So I can't really say whether the cinematography in Harry Potter 9000 is good or a good example for you to go by, but I more just want to show you the different ideas and thoughts that you can start to put into your cinematography to help tell a story. Once again, I hope that you found this little cinematography breakdown, talk through interesting. I really enjoy sharing my ideas with you guys. It'd be nice to hear your thoughts and your ideas of the film or the cinematography in Harry Potter 9000, and if you are interested in any other elements of the other short films that we've put up on this channel, I'd love to discuss them with you and see what you guys think. And I hope that you enjoy our other film projects that are coming up in the near future.